Welcome to CLMD Connect. In support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan (LCP). I teach. Integrating technology academic community, the household. Ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulong Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao Region.
As we continue our training on literacy instruction, let us not forget to give thanks and honor to the Almighty and to our country. So it is just fitting to start the afternoon with our nationalistic song.
Pilipino, Pilipino, galing natin ito. Pilipino, Pilipino, galing natin ito.
Buo ang tiwala sa kakayahan, porsigido sa anumang laban, di ka susuko sa anumang hamon. Pangarap noon, tagumpay ngayon.
Kayod ng kayod, di napapagod.
Anumang dumaan, di natatakot. Diyos, bayan at pamilya,
Sa puso mo'y laging dala. Pilipino, oh, 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 galing natin ito. Pilipino, oh, 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 parinig sa mundo. Isigaw mo, oh, 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 galing natin ito. Puso, isip, lakas, galing natin ito. Pilipino, 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 galing natin ito. Pilipino, Pilipino, galing natin ito.
Pilipino, Pilipino, hinulman ng bagyo. Puso mo buong buo, sintibay ng apoy at ginto.
At kahit na dumayo sa iba yung dagat, paluin man na maso di magkakalama. Tabo naman ang tubig ng hanging habagat. Sama-sama natin na itataas ang layag.
Sa patat man o lubak-lubak ang daan, kaharapin ay tatawanan na lang na parang wala lang kagamayan. Ayan silang mga kababayan.
Anumang larangan, galing natin ito. Isa ang sigaw ng iyong puso.
Pilipino, oh, 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 magaling natin ito. Pilipino, oh, 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 parinig sa mundo. Isigaw mo, oh, 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 galing natin ito. Puso, isip, lakas, galing natin ito. Pilipino.
Sa bawat hamon kasama mo kami. Hindi ka mag-iisa, buong bansa ang kakampi. Sa bawat hamon kasama mo kami. Hindi ka mag-iisa, buong bansa ang kakampi.
Pilipino, oh, 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 galing natin ito. Pilipino, oh, 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 parinig sa mundo. Isigaw mo, oh, 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 galing natin ito. Puso, isip, lakas, galing natin ito. Pilipino, oh, 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 galing natin ito. Pilipino, oh, 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 parinig sa mundo. Isigaw mo, oh, 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 galing natin ito. Puso, isip, lakas, galing natin ito. Pilipino, oh, 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 galing natin ito. Pilipino, oh, 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 parinig sa mundo. Isigaw mo, oh, 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 galing natin ito. Puso, isip, lakas, galing natin ito. Pilipino, 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 galing natin ito. Pilipino, Pilipino, galing natin ito. Pilipino, Pilipino, galing natin ito. Pilipino, Pilipino, galing natin ito.
Welcome to CLMD Connect. In support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan (LCP). I teach. Integrating technology academic community, the household. Ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulong Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao Region.
Our week-long week-long online training on literacy instruction is DepEd Region 11's answer to the challenge of Bawat Bata Bumabasa, and we cannot pursue quality education if our learners do not know how to read, because as we all know, reading is the basic tool for lifelong learning. Good afternoon, fellow educators, and welcome to the second half of today's activity. Before I proceed, I would like to thank our Regional Director, Madam Evelyn R. Vidalvero, Assistant Regional Director, Madam Maria Ines C. Asuncion, our Chief of the CLMD, Dr. Janet G. Veloso, our Regional Supervisors for English and Filipino, Sir Manuel P. Valgueo and Madam Mary Jane Mejorada for spearheading this online training. Good afternoon, Miss Ava.
Good afternoon there, Miss Marjorie. Absolutely right. We are now in our fourth day in our afternoon's breakaway sessions, 30th of July 2020. We have 13, 14, and 15 breakaway sessions respectively. With our uplifting presentations of our remaining three speakers this afternoon, and that to include none less than our Education Program Supervisor, English Area in Region 11, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo. I know all of you there very excited to witness on his presentation. How is that? The Curriculum and Learning Management Division is focused to address the literacy instruction as we continue our advocacy in our regional training on literacy instruction as we are in One Davao Region, Bawat Bata Bumabasa, Sulong Idokalidad.
Of course, Miss Ava, let us not forget to show our attendance link for this afternoon. May we request our controller to please show our attendance link on screen. Okay, so we would like to remind once again our viewers to please complete the details on the attendance link. Write your complete name, your surname, and your first name, and of course, your email address. That's very important because that's where we will send your certificate of appearance or certificate of participation. And once again, we would like to reiterate that all the answers of the task given by our facilitators, you can still send in your answers later after all the sessions. And if you still have not yet answered tonight, you can still submit it until tomorrow. Okay, so we will let our link open until tomorrow morning, so you don't have to worry. You can still submit all your answers until tomorrow morning, so you can focus on listening to our session this afternoon.
Thank you so much, Miss Marjorie. Thank you for giving the mechanics to our Region 11 participants on what to do on the links that they're going to answer and submit even up until tomorrow. That's really very important because, once again, that's the ticket to the certificate of participation, and this is one very good experience for them to experience the regional training on literacy instruction. And of course, at this time, we have to let our participants to articulate their concerns through having the Padlet link on the screen right now. They can have their awareness more on these solutions with regard to their questions, comments, suggestions on the training. So there is the Padlet. Don't be hesitated to have your comments, your suggestions. This is the avenue for us to answer all our queries as we are equipped enough on August 24, 2020 as we all start our new normal education in the field. So don't forget, there's the link flashed on the screen right now. Okay.
And
At
Miss
this
Ava,
time,
before I forget, Miss Ava, hello, Miss Ava. Before I forget, we would like to remind also our participants to please be aware of the scrolling text on their screen that will run later while the session is ongoing. So please take note of that links shown on the scrolling portion below your screen. Okay, please proceed, Miss Ava.
Thank you so much, Miss Marjorie, for giving them the reminders constantly that would help them to complete the task that they have this training. Okay, and of course, at this time, we prepared a video on Watch. This is the Department of Education as we advocate time consciousness and honesty on this regional training and literacy instruction of the Curriculum and Learning Management Division, Region 11. Mr. Pocholo Hernandez, please roll VTR.
Welcome to CLMD Connect. In support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan LCP. I teach. Integrating technology academic community, the household. Ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulang Idokalida. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao region. Welcome to CLMD Connect. in support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan (LCP). I teach. Integrating technology academic community, the household. Ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulong Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across DO region.
Thank you so much to our watch advocates from the K-12, SPED, ALS, and of course our education program supervisors, the PSDS, our school heads, everyone on this advocacy. We thank you so much as we advocate time consciousness and honesty. And of course, at this time, we are now in the Breakaway session 13. She has played an indispensable part in providing competent learning to our teachers on her passion and focus in education and her learning experience on her presentation today in English learning area. Is it fact or a bluff? Distinguishing facts from opinions. Ladies and gentlemen, our dearest teachers, entire Region 11, Madam Emeline Raquel, District Head, Division of Davao del Sur.
Welcome to CLMD Connect. In support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan (LCP). I teach. Integrating technology academic community, the household. Ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulong Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao region.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to another session of the webinar on literacy instruction. This session, entitled, Is it Fact or Bluff?, tells about the development of one of the reading skills, which is distinguishing facts from opinion. This will lead us to understand more about the concepts of fact and opinion and to answer the questions on how to teach this explicitly. Nowadays, there are texts or posts from social media that are in factual and in opinion forms. There are stories which can even be classified as fiction and non-fiction. There are then a lot of uncertainties, but there are many ways on how to claim its factuality or authenticity. And so, it takes a well-developed critical thinking skills of our learners to distinguish between fact and opinion. To proceed, here are our session objectives. At the end of the session, teachers should be able to, first, determine the nature and definition of fact and opinion. Second, identify the purpose of fact and opinion in education. Third, explain the process of teaching fact or opinion to the learners. And demonstrate desirable classroom teaching practices and activities in teaching fact or opinion that reflect gained understanding on addressing learning styles, learning strategies, and academic needs of learners. So to start, we have this first activity on fact or bluff. Let's get it on. Give your factual and opinion statements and the following hashtags of the pressing issues for teachers. So there will be hashtags to be flashed, and for each hashtag, you will be giving one factual statement and one opinion statement. And for each, you will be given 1 minute to write down your responses. Be sure to have your responses because later on, that will serve as your outputs. But you will just be processing it as you will hear the discussion. So, for the first hashtag, hashtag salary hike of teachers. Hashtag salary hike of teachers. Again, give one factual statement and one opinion statement. Your time starts now. right? For the next hashtag. Hashtag no homework policy. Again, hashtag no homework policy. Another one factual statement and one opinion statement. So your time starts now. Right? For the third hashtag, hashtag retire at 56. Hashtag retire at 56. Another one opinion statement and one factual statement. Right? Finally, for our fourth hashtag, hashtag DepEd to push less paperworks. Another 1 minute for this. All right. Thank you so much, teachers, for your responses. So this time, just set them aside. After that, after our processing, we will go back to that and try to check whether your responses are really correct. So we have this time our previewing question. So for our abstraction, for the deepening of this topic, we will be viewing a video of our resource speaker. And so before that, let's take note of the following previewing questions. So as we listen to our resource speaker, Kindly take note of the responses of the answers of each question. First, what is a fact? Second, what is an opinion? Third, what are the signal words used to distinguish fact from opinion? Fourth, why do we need to teach fact and opinion? And we have this, how to explicitly teach fact and opinion. And also, for the main strategy that will be demonstrated by our resource speaker, we have this SQ3R reading strategy. So kindly take note of this. What is the SQ3R reading strategy? What are the various processes of the SQ3R reading strategy? And how effective is the SQ3R strategy? And so this time, let me introduce to you our resource speaker in this session, Mr. Raymond V. Rimandaban from the Schools Division of Tacloban City from DepEd Region 8. Please welcome Sir Rimandaban.
So this time, let's proceed with this. Fact and opinion. First thing that we're going to do, we're going to define what is fact and what is opinion. Basically, fact is a statement that is true and can be verified objectively and of course, or proven. In the other words, a fact is true and correct no matter what, diba? So generally, if we going to say fact, of course, fact is really true. And if it's true, and if in order for it to be very true, of course, we need to have this piece of evidence, or what we call mode of verification, which is very, very evident, of course, in DepEd, diba? We have this mode of verification with our activities, and we the things that we do in DepEd, diba? So that is fact. So let's go naman for opinion. What is an opinion? An opinion is, however, is a statement that holds an element of belief. It tells how someone feels. An opinion is not always true and can be proven with pieces of evidence. Ayan po. As educators, actually, we have this difficulty in identifying or determining between fact and opinion, true or false, right or wrong, and even reality and fantasy. But we really need to understand that we need to have this piece of evidence for this opinion to be proven, diba? Kailangan lang natin ng piece of evidence. So let's proceed with why do we teach, or why are we going to teach fact and opinion to our children? So basically, as we can see here, we have three major reasons why we need to teach fact and opinion. Firstly, of course, for our Filipino learners. Of course, for the second, for our texts. And of course, lastly, it's not really that, it's abstract siya, it's more on the research development. So at first, of course, we need to consider our learners for them to improve critical thinking, diba? We need to have learners that are critical thinker to be siguro to raise the bar of excellence, for the different factual statements or facts that we have for our studies. And of course, for number two, for our text, we need to make, we need to make this sense of information for our text for us to have this development for our different textual statements that we have. And for number three, for the community development, of course, with the use of fact and opinion, we are going to improve as well, and we're going to expand our horizon with research and development. The title of our first text is, What is a Black Hole? And for the information of everybody, a black hole, this informational text is coming from the output po sa ating Primals Compendium. Okay? This is just an excerpt from the Primals Compendium. So I am going to read our informational text. What is a black hole? An excerpt from the Primals Compendium. A black hole is a place in space where gravity pulls so much that even light cannot get out. The gravity is so strong because matter has been squeezed into a tiny space. This can happen when a star is dying because no light can get out. People can see black holes. They are invisible. Space telescopes with special tools can help find black holes. The special tools can see how stars that are very close to the black holes act differently than the other stars. Scientists think the smallest black holes formed when the universe began. Stellar black holes are made when the center of the very big star falls in upon itself or collapses. When this happens, it causes a supernova. It was claimed that it is the supernova of an exploding star that blasts part of the star into space. Scientists think supermassive black holes were made at the same time as the galaxy they are in. So yan po. So that's our informational text. What is a black hole? I have chosen this one generally because I want really to choose stories that's going to be engaging on the part of the children, of course, with the elementary and the secondary level, especially with our elementary and our junior high school students. So that's it. So I have lifted in our story this line, factual statement line that we have here. According to the scientists, a black hole cannot be seen because strong gravity pulls all of the light into the middle of the black hole. So we have here points to ponder. A fact is a statement that is true and can be verified objectively. And of course, here are samples of signal words and phrases being used in the sentence fragments that often precede a statement of fact or opinion. So that's it. For our signal words for facts, we have confirms, we have discovered, according to, demonstrated, and I guess we still have many signal words that we can have for our factual statements, and we can search it into the internet, of course. And with the signal words for our opinions, we also have this. We have claimed, view. If you're going to say, what's your own point of view, diba? And of course, we have argues and suspect for the signal words for our opinions. So the main point of teaching the signal words is to make the learners conscious that when they see such words, they'll be able to recognize that the statements that follow are facts or opinions. So as what I've said, I guess most of us here, because this is really not reflected in the textbooks of DepEd, when we say signal words for fact and opinion, because mostly we can really see the signal words for sequencing events, and we also have signal words for cause and effect, diba? But basically, we can also introduce this to our children. So this time, we are going to have our guided practice. So we are going to have this, we're going to introduce this. Siguro, we can say that it is one of the oldest, but one of the most effective reading strategies that we have. We have this active reading strategy, SQ3R. So that's it. SQ3R, for the information of everybody. S, of course, stands for survey. For Q, question. For the 3 R's, we have read, recite, and recall. Okay, yun po for our SQ3R. The SQ3R method is a proven step-by-step strategic approach to learning and studying from textbooks. Why is it successful? Because it helps you to discover the important facts and ideas that are contained in your text. So we're going to have these different compositions of our SQ3R. Of course, let's start with survey. Research says that the first step, survey or skim, advises that one should resist the temptation to read the book and instead first go through a chapter and note the headings, subheadings, and other outstanding features such as figures, tables, and summary paragraphs. This survey step only takes 3 to 5 minutes, but it provides an outline or framework for us, of course, we are going to be presented. So that's it for our survey. For survey, of course, or what we call searching or surveying, of course, is very important to the part of the or in the part of the children, because we are teaching our children to evaluate, not magpo-proceed sila doon sa ating text, but they're going to evaluate first some of the parts of the text or of the book. Okay? So let's proceed with another one. We have their question for Q. Question, or let us generate questions about the content. On this part, or in these reading strategies, the teacher is not going to be the one who's going to generate the questions, but I believe that the students or the learners will be the one who's going to generate the questions. For example, convert headings and subheadings into questions, and then look for answers in the content of the text. Other more general questions may also be formulated. And actually, this is going to be very effective to our children, and this is like similar with our text-dependent questions yesterday and text-dependent responses discussed by Sir Denmark, and also kanina po with Sir, of course, kaninang umaga. Text-dependent questions and text-dependent responses. And of course, after our question, we are going to have our read procedure. Use the background work done with S and Q in order to begin reading actively. This means reading in order to answer the questions raised under Q. Passive reading, in contrast, results in merely reading without engaging with the study material. So, of course, we're going to have this active reading on the part of our children. And of course, after that, we are going to proceed with recite. Recite is an important part wherein the reader use his or her own words. So that's it. This is the important thing that we're going to do for recite in SQ3R, that the children really needs to formulate, of course, their answers wherein they're going to have it in their own words. Okay? Try recalling and identifying the major points in their heading and subheadings, and the recital step may be done either in an oral or written format in boosting long-term memory for the material. And of course, lastly, we have here our final R for SQ3R, which is what we call review. Once you reach the end of the passage, say back to yourself what the point of the whole passage is. Again, using your own words, you may then repeat the process on the second set of our questions. You're going to review the set of questions that you have made for, of course, as a learner, and then you're going to review as well the answers on the given questions that you have generated. Okay, so why do we need to teach SQ3R? Okay, so we have here on the part of our learner and also on the part of our text. Of course, SQ3R activates learning. Diba? So as we can see, maybe medyo mahaba-haba. It's one of the longest strategies po. Yung time frame niya is very long for SQ3R, but it's very effective because of the different compositions of our SQ3R. And of course, aside from that, it reviews understanding. Because yun po yung medyo nakakalimutan natin for our strategies that we really need to review. Okay, so we have here our valuing question with our SQ3R. What is the value being established in the utilization of the specific reading strategy or SQ3R? Which is very important. What do you think is the value that we can get or we can grasp from this reading strategy on the part of our learners? So we have here our HIP for our values restoration program. We have honesty, industry, and patience. We can, of course, instill this values that we have here for our children.
Thank you very much to our resource speaker, Mr. Raymond Ribandaban from Tacloban City, from Region 8. Let us proceed now to the synthesis of the topic discussed by answering the previewing questions posted before our resource speaker. So we have here the first question: what is a fact? And what is an opinion? Why do we need to teach fact and opinion? What are the signal words used to distinguish fact from opinion? How to explicitly teach fact and opinion? And about this SQ3R reading strategy. So let us process each question one by one. For the first guide question there, what is a fact? So it was thoroughly discussed by our resource speaker, the meaning of fact and its difference with opinion. So it was discussed by our speaker. And it was also discussed the reasons why is there a need to teach fact and opinion. So we have there, first, to improve critical thinking, second, to make sense of information, and then for research development. And for this one, how to teach fact and opinion explicitly. In the presentation of our resource speaker, he immediately proceeded with the use of text and with the highlight of the SQ3R. So let us, with the previous sessions on in the discussion of the different reading skills, it was emphasized on the use, on the following of these steps, these 6 steps in teaching explicitly the different reading skills. So we have here, first, the introduction, the modeling, guided practice, independent practice, and application. All these steps have to be followed in teaching the different reading skills explicitly. And in ELLN, it was also emphasized that when we teach, in short, for explicitly, we have this I do in the part of the teacher, then we do, and you do. So I understand that it is in the part of the introduction and modeling where there is on the part of I do, more on the part of the teacher. And for the guided practice, we do, and independent and application, it's for you do. So we will be discussing this one more, as it was not really that emphasized also in the discussion of our resource speaker. So let's take this one by one. For the introduction, so as it was our resource speaker, he utilized text and discussing first, not the lesson. But in here, during the introduction, this activity can be done. Here, you are the fact and you are the opinion game. Here, if chosen by the teacher, the learner will share a fact about the classmate on her or his right, and an opinion on the person on her or his left. So this is done as to activate prior knowledge. So this is something that the learners have already the knowledge. This is for them to connect, to be able to connect on the new lesson. So for the modeling and teaching, so as demonstrated by our resource speaker, he used their text. Here also, like we having now the text, we can now start to examine the line. So in determining whether a statement is factual, here he emphasized the use of signal word according to. So the statement preceded by signal word for factual statement, so that would mean the whole statement that is factual statement. And same with opinion statement, using again the line, you have here the signal word claimed. making the statement opinion statement. So let us again be reminded that a fact is a statement that is true and can be verified objectively or proven. In other words, a fact is true and correct no matter what. So this is also for opinion. This is a statement that holds an element of belief on the part of the speaker, the person. It tells how someone feels. An opinion is not always true and cannot be proven. Here, the emphasis on the use of signal words. So for facts and for signal for opinion. And there is this points to ponder. There it is highlighted that the main point of teaching the signal words is to make the learners conscious that when they see such words, they will be able to recognize that the statements that follow are facts or opinions. For the formative assessment point, so here, ask the learners to give their own examples for each fact and opinion statements. Ask them to point out the signal words used in the examples provided and in the examples that they will give. So, for the guided practice, this is now on the part of we do, the teacher with the learners. This is one of the highlight of the discussion of our resource speaker, the use of SQ3R. So this is one of the guide questions. So what is SQ3R? Again, S there means survey, Q question, and for the 3 R's, read, recite, and recall. And after which, we have that following question. So we have here the HIP, honesty, industry, and patience. That will be the values that can be learned after undergoing the SQ3R strategy. So to elaborate further, can have this activity 1. Examine the given text carefully and answer the specific questions that follow. So we have here the text, just like in the demonstration of our resource speaker, making use of text. So let's try this one. I'll be reading this. Try to pick out what are those statements that are factual and which of the statements are opinion. So Jose Rizal, the ultimate Filipino leader, by an expert from the editors of Britannica. Jose Rizal, in full, Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Realunda, born June 19, 1861, Calamba, Philippines, died December 30, 1896, Manila, patriot, physician, and man of letters who was an inspiration to the Philippine nationalist movement. The son of a prosperous lawyer, Rizal was educated in Manila and at the University of Madrid. A brilliant medical student, he soon committed himself to the reform of Spanish rule in his home country, though he never advocated Philippine independence. According to the biographies written for our national hero, most of his writing was done in Europe, where he resided between 1882 and 1892. In 1887, Rizal published his first novel, Noli Me Tangere, The Social Cancer, a passionate exposure of the evils of Spanish rule in the Philippines. A sequel, El Filibusterismo, 1891, The Reign of Greed. Rizal returned to the Philippines in 1992. He founded a nonviolent reform society, the La Liga Filipina in Manila, and was deported to the Pitan in northwest Mindanao. Rizal was arrested and tried for sedition by the military. Found guilty, he was publicly executed by a firing squad in Leyte. It was argued by the Philippine historians that his martyrdom convinced Filipinos that there was no alternative to independence from Spain. On the eve of his execution, while confined in Fort Santiago, Rizal wrote, Mi Ultimo Adios, Last Farewell, a masterpiece of 19th century Spanish verse. So for the processing questions, for facts. So number 1, in the given text, which sample statement shows a factual sentence? So can you see there sample those signal words? Then what is the specific signal word? What are the signal words? Why do we need to use signal words in identifying fact and opinion in a given text? So having now these processing questions can aid your learners to examine the lines of the text. So we will proceed. You can have this activity, brain teaser. So from that, you can have this. It's like the activity that we have in the preliminary, fact or bluff. So these statements are taken from the text that we've just read. So the Rizal Monument in Luneta was not made by a Filipino artist. Is it fact or bluff? It's fact. So this one, Rizal was widely featured in liquor wrappers. Is it fact or bluff? So it's bluff. And so on and so forth. So for activity 2, using SQ3R, you have this think and share. Each group should be composed of 3 members. Each member will be given a specific assigned task to be accomplished. For step 1, the first member will do the survey part of the text that would focus on the use of signal words in determining if the statement is a fact or an opinion. And for step 2, the second member will generate questions based on the discussion with the other group mates. For step 3, the third member will read a section of the text accompanying the heading for an answer to the question you asked yourselves in step 2. And for step 4 and 5, one member will present their answer and 2 other members will review their answers. Got it? So another text. So just be reminded that the choice of text or stories or paragraphs, that would depend on the level of learners you have, according to grade level, according to their level of development or their proficiency level. So we have their proficiency assessment point, measure the learner's ability in understanding the application of SQ3R reading strategy in their given task through the utilization of the signal words. So here we come now to independent practice. The you do part. So a lot of activities can be done here. And one of these activities is this. Paint a picture across the curriculum content. So this is an activity where you can integrate other learning areas. So just like this one, we have the first picture. So in here, from this picture shown, learners can give their factual statement and opinion statement. They're using now social science. And for health and science, again, based on this picture, they can give their factual statement and opinion statement. For physical education and for values education. So for that generalization, we can have these questions as we teach this competency. And finally, for the steps in the explicit teaching for this skill, we have this application. So again, variety of activities can be done. One of which is video viewing. So here, like you can watch a short video presentation focusing on the recent COVID-19 pandemic. Let the learners note the possible facts and opinion with the use of its specific signal words. Use the given sample graphic organizers that will be used in distinguishing the two concepts. So here, varied graphic organizers can be used like this: Venn diagram, the tree graphic organizer, the graphic notepads, the graphic organizer, and more. Other relevant activities of this reading skill can have this: guide the students in the various group activities and make sure that they follow the significant instructions of the teacher. So one of which is concept sort. So in here, the students will be doing the activity by group. Here, group the students into 4 groups. Prepare colored papers with statements that can be a fact or an opinion. Let the students sort the ideas according to its factuality and veracity. Identify the signal words of the statements. So it looks like this. Right? Another activity is on fact or bluff. So present the 2 characters in a given story. Let the learners identify if the characteristics, attitudes, and thoughts of the characters in the story are either a fact or a bluff. And let them explain their answers. So here is it. Another, check and balance. Present the different sentences mentioned in the activity concept sort. Let the students put a check on the sentence if it's in the correct group of statements. So it looks like this. And another is sing for the truth. Let the students create their short jazz chant in the different pressing issues slated in the independent practice, and let them cite their facts and opinions about it and present and discuss it to the class. So jazz chants. And another, pros and cons of life. That is through editorial writing. So it's again for writing skills. Let the students write an editorial article injecting the relevant facts and opinions of a certain topic that would help them improve their journalistic skills. So that's it. So that's all for fact and opinion. So this time, as I've said, we'll go back to those statements you've written during the preliminary activity. For each hashtag, were you able to correct the statements you've written for factual statement and opinion statement? So, for salary hike of teachers, were you able to write 1 factual statement and 1 opinion statement? For no homework policy, for retire at 56, and DepEd to push less paperworks. So, what were your bases? What made you think that your factual statements are really factual statements and your opinion statements are really just stating opinion? So, remember the signal words. And those written outputs of yours, your responses during the preliminary activity, just choose from among those 4. Choose 2 hashtags from those given during the preliminary activity. Check your written factual and opinion statements, and then encode them in the template of the link provided for this session. So you will be given link for you to write, for you to encode your output. So be sure that you have already checked your responses. Take note of those key understandings and fact and opinion. So be sure to have this as your MOVs that you have attended, that you have actively participated on this session. Let's go back now to our objectives. If we have met, if we have achieved our objectives, were we able to determine the nature and definition of fact and opinion? How about identifying the purpose of fact and opinion in education? Were we able to explain the process of teaching fact or opinion to the learners? And of course, was there a demonstration of desirable classroom teaching practices and activities in teaching fact or opinion that reflect, gain understanding, and addressing learning styles, learning strategies, and academic needs of learners? If so, then congratulations, dear participants, for your active participation on this session. But before we finally end, let's have this commitment activity. So answer the given questions through filling in the commitment note of an educator. Indicate in the note how important it is to state a fact and an opinion in our daily contact with our learners. Fill in the sentences to form your own commitment note. Take note of the description of what a fact is and what an opinion is. So here is the template. This is also part of your session output. So thank you so much again. And before we end, let me leave this quote with you, dear teachers. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge, by Albert Einstein. So thank you very much, dear teachers, for your active participation. Good morning once again.
Welcome to CLMD Connect in support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan LCP. I teach, integrating technology academic community, the household, ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulong Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao Region.
Thank you so much, Madam Emeline Raquel, District Head of the Division of Davao del Sur, with a competent presentation of our resource facilitator in the integration of the different fields of discipline out from the given topic. Is it fact or a bluff? Distinguishing facts from opinions. Thank you so much, Madam, and see you later in your open forum discussion together with our other resource speakers. As we are delighted on her tremendous contribution as the seasoned and trained education program supervisor on her Breakaway Session 14, Figure It Out, drawing conclusions and making generalizations of the selection. From the Division of Davao de Oro, an education program supervisor, Dr. Hilda A. Opeña.
Welcome to CLMD Connect. in support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan (LCP). I teach. Integrating technology academic community, the household. Ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulong Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao Region.
I am welcoming you to the exciting session 14. The session will lead us to understand, through explicit instruction, the strategies to draw conclusions and make generalizations. Before we start, I would like to present to you the following session objectives. Session 14 is all about figuring out, drawing conclusions, and generalizations of the selections. The session objectives: 1. Define drawing conclusions and generalizations of reading selections. 2. Figure out conclusions and generalizations from reading selections. 3. Demonstrate strategies that assist learners in understanding significant details to draw conclusions and generalizations. Before going further, let's try to have some exercises. We will be reading selection and passages for us to think about. Let's think of this. Imagine you're walking down the street and you come across a house with overgrown grass that reaches waist height. No lights in the windows and paint that is peeling off the sidings. What might you think about this house? Okay, what do you think this house looks like? Let us try to compare our answers. You probably said something like, no one has lived there in a very long time. Another example, Claude walked to the barn. He could hear the puppies as they cried for their mother. It would be a long night if she did not come back soon. Claude is, what do you think Claude is in this selection? A male or a female? What do you think Claude is? Claude is a male because there's a clue given. He could hear the puppies as they cried for their mother. Another example, I knew there was trouble as soon as I walked in. The trash can has been turned over and papers were scattered everywhere. The cushions were on the floor. One of them had been ripped open. As I looked around, I saw Ringo in the corner. He had another cushion in his mouth and was playing with it. What do you think is this passage? What can you safely conclude? I'll be giving options for you to choose. A. There were burglary in the house. B. The trash can had a hole in it. C. Ringo was responsible for the mess. And D. Ringo was a chimpanzee. What do you think is the answer? If your answer is A, B, and D, you got it wrong because the correct answer is C. Ringo was responsible for the mess. If you have noticed, we draw conclusion from the information that was given to us. We have the clues, we have the selections, and we have the passages. The information that we get from this selection, from this passage, of which there are clue words that we can see, that we can read, are necessary for us to come up with a conclusion. We will understand better what drawing conclusions and making generalizations are and the various ways to teach this reading by answering the following guide questions. 1. What is drawing conclusion as a reading skill? 2. What is the difference between drawing conclusions and making generalizations? 3. How do we teach drawing conclusions? And 4. How can we say that our generalizations are valid? Are we now ready to listen? Sit back and relax, and all you have to do is to take down notes as we start our session proper. And be sure to answer the guide questions given. As we go through the presentation, I know you will have a brilliant answer to these guide questions. In teaching drawing conclusions, the following strategies in reading can be used. The CFC model, text-to-self strategy, graphic organizer, and questions that evoke conversations. When we say CFC model, it stands for code, fact, and conclusion. This will be clearly discussed to us by our resource speaker later. Another strategy is text-to-self strategy. This text-to-self strategy would tell us there is a text that we're going to read, and those texts will be analyzed so that we can come up with a conclusion. Example, I sleep in a crib. I drink from a bottle. I cannot walk or talk. Who am I? Now, we read, I sleep in a crib. I drink from a bottle. I cannot walk or talk. Who am I? I know babies sleep in cribs. I know babies drink bottles. I know babies can't do these things yet. So we analyze what we have read on the text. And I conclude I must be a baby. Another example for text-to-self strategy. You need me before you can mail a letter. Paste me on an envelope. What am I? So what do you think is it? Who can guess? It's a stamp. Another strategy is graphic organizers. With these graphic organizers, before we can come up with a conclusion or a headline, we need to have supporting details, we need to have evidences, and we need to have facts so that we can come up with a conclusion. There might be various or series of supporting details to help us come up, draw our conclusion. For example, President Rodrigo Duterte has approved the use of the 1 billion contingent fund of his office to address the African swine fever outbreak in the Philippines. To address the issue on African swine fever, the Chief Executive approved Agriculture Secretary William Dar's request to use the remaining contingent fund of the Office of the President for the indemnification of hog raisers and designate cold storage areas in the ports of Manila, Subic, Batangas, Cebu, and Davao for 100% monitoring of meat products entry. Presidential spokesman Salvador Panelo said in a statement. In a text message, Agriculture Secretary William Dar said the contingent fund is at 1 billion pesos. Now, let us try to get or to come up with the different supporting details. Office of the President will indemnify the damage on hog industry. Another detail that will help us support is Secretary Dar requested to use the contingency fund. And we also have Republic of the Philippines has an outbreak on the African swine fever. With these supporting details that we have, we can come up with a conclusion. And we can draw our conclusion that can be PRRD, okay, 1 billion contingent fund. Now, before making our conclusion, let us try to check if the reader validated the important details through these questions. Does the author use facts to support the idea? Does the author share past experiences to support the idea? Does the author provide several examples? Does the author use logical thinking? So, we will understand better what is drawing conclusions and making generalizations are after the various ways to teach this reading through an audio-video presentation of our resource speaker. Our resource speaker is Rodolph John T. Rodriguez, Master Teacher 2, Division Reading Coordinator, Division of Zamboanga Sibugay, Region 9, Zamboanga Peninsula.
Let's define drawing conclusion. A conclusion is a decision you reach that makes sense after you think about the details or facts that you have read. Okay? And then, there are two things that we have to put in mind when we say drawing conclusions. First is that what's in your head. We talk about the schema or schemata, your prior knowledge. And the second thing that you have to consider in drawing conclusion is the details, the nitty-gritty, the logical ideas presented in the text and the whatnot, what you've read in the story. A conclusion, therefore, is what you come to when you put these two together. Now let's go back. What do we do when we draw conclusions? We use what we know in our heads. And the second thing is what we have read in the story. So that's the very fundamental definition of drawing conclusions. You've heard cornucopia of why to teach this and a lot more. Now we have to single out why do we teach drawing conclusion and generalizations. Well, accordingly, teaching students the differences among making inferences, drawing conclusions, and predicting outcomes may be one of the most difficult skills to teach. Aren't they? Okay, this series of 3 posts includes definitions, examples, and activities. We highlight, therefore, making inferences. We know that for a learner to make inferences, it requires sub-reading skills, micro skills in reading. We know noting details and a lot more. Okay, vocabulary development. For a learner to draw a conclusion and predict an outcome, a learner is required of other micro skills. thus making it a difficult one. Secondly, good readers are like detectives. We are like detectives in our own ways. Readers fill in what is not being said by using their schema and text clues. So, what does CFC stand for? Would you like to read? Who would want to read? Okay, that's code, fact, and conclusion. So how is it done? The first thing that we have to do in doing CFC model for drawing conclusion is, well, first, we have to code the text. Terms were given to you a while ago and in the previous sessions you have had. For example, Sir Denmark and Sir Kevin also told you about text annotation. For coding the text, we will do the similar way. We will annotate the text, okay? And then the second fact, decide which statements are facts you can read in the text. You see the seamless connection between what the previous speaker had told you about distinguishing fact from opinion. For drawing conclusion, a learner must be able to decipher which is fact from which is not. Okay? And the third thing that you have to do for this model is to eliminate information that doesn't make sense with what you read. So how is it done this time? Let's do first, what's the first thing? We have to do the coding or the text annotation. So we will be led with the idea. What's the idea being presented? It's all about the wolves. Notice that there are a lot of terms that refer to wolves. You have the wolves as noun and then all the pronouns leading to the antecedent. Okay, so pronoun and antecedent are all connected to the wolves. So definitely we have a unison idea that the topic is all about wolves. That's the first thing we have to do. Second is we have to get into what do we call them? Such as consist of, for example, what are they called? Good. They are called signal words. For us to know the coherency and the cohesion of ideas, we have to look into the signal words in the text. Okay, such as consist of, for example, because these will help us, okay, in identifying or drawing conclusions. And then let's get the main idea. We all know that main idea in terms of text structure can be found in the first, middle, or last, or even implied. We know at this part, where is the main idea located at? It's found in the first. Wolves sleep during the day and hunt at night. And notice that the entire supporting details are actually telling us about wolves that sleep during the night and also how they hunt during night, sleep during the day and how they hunt at nighttime. Notice also that the entire underlined phrases are actually connected to the main idea. So that's how we do the coding for drawing conclusion. Wolves are afraid of people. Is it a fact or a conclusion? A fact. Is it in the text? Okay. That makes it a conclusion. Why? Is it stated explicitly? No, it's not. It's said there. What is it? What is said? If a person approaches them, they will run away or climb up a tree. Is there the word afraid? There isn't. That makes it a conclusion. You associate your schema and what you read in the text and draw your own information. Okay? So you don't base it to an existing idea. That's a conclusion. How about this? Wolves eat small animals. Go back to the text. Is it explicitly stated? Okay, in what sentence? Okay, you have there. Okay. And it's a fact, you are right. And letter C, wolves can see well in the dark. Is it a conclusion or a fact? Conclusion. Very good. We all know it's just said wolves keep sleep during the day and hunt at night. Therefore, they can see well in the dark. It isn't a fact, it is a conclusion. How about this one? Wolves know how to climb. Okay, is it stated there explicitly? Okay, therefore it's a fact. So that's how we do the CFC model. Okay, so what is the topic all about? The jellyfish. Okay, do you think it's repeated in the entire text, an expository text structure? You're right. You have its, jellyfish, and all the pronouns leading to the topic. Okay, now what's the main idea? We know that the main idea is not expressed in imperative statement. So it is not, don't touch that colorful balloon floating in the sea. What is it? Is it explicitly stated or implied? Implied, you are right. Okay, so the main idea is implied. But we know it's all about the sting of the jellyfish. Notice, what is that characteristics of? That is, what do we call that one? The signal word, okay, leading to our topic. Notice, probably jellyfish, it could sting you, hundreds of tentacles or long arms hanging below the balloon, arms that trap small sea animals swimming by, stings them with a strong poison from and mouth at the center of its body. They are all supporting details. Now, let's identify which one is a fact and which one is a conclusion. Or it can be a fallacy. Letter A, multiple choice. Jellyfish has a few short arms. Is it in the text? Is it stated? It's not. No, it's not stated. Therefore, it is a fallacy. No, it's not. It's neither a conclusion nor a fact. A jellyfish is a type of balloon. Is it in the text? What is being mentioned about the balloon? It's a colorful balloon floating in the sea, but it is not a type of balloon. It is hasty generalization. We know that. Okay, that's definitely a fallacy. Okay, now we only have two more to go. Jellyfish can hurt people. Is it a fact or a conclusion or a fallacy? Is it in the text per word? Don't touch the colorful balloon floating in the sea. What is it? A fact or a conclusion? A conclusion? A fact? You're changing your answers. Okay. Yes, you are right. It is a conclusion because it is stated here, it stings them with a strong poison from its arms. But it is not said it can hurt people, but based on the text and what you know in your head when you are stung by a jellyfish, and definitely you are hurt. Okay? You are drawing a conclusion. Jellyfish mouths are in the middle of their bodies. Is it in the text? It's in the last part, making it a fact, not a conclusion. You will be using these questions to elicit inferences and generalizations and conclusions. Questions such as, does the author tell us why? You can continue. Okay? What can you infer? Questions such as, based on what the author has already said, what can the reader tell about? Given what the author has already told us, what do you predict will probably happen in the future? Which sentence best shows you what the author meant? How did the author show you that, ellipsis? What was the clue in the text help you to figure that out? What part of the author's message has been left unsaid? Notice these questions are templates for eliciting inferences, generalizations, and in a macro level, draw conclusions. Now let's have some activities for making generalizations. What is it? What's the difference between making generalizations and drawing conclusions? We know somewhere, somehow, there is a thin line connecting the two. Okay? A generalization is a specific kind of conclusion. All generalizations are conclusions. You see? But not all conclusions are generalizations. Which is bigger, generalizations or conclusions? Bigger. All conclusions, sorry, all generalizations are conclusions, but not all conclusions are generalizations. Draw a conclusion. Which is bigger? Conclusion. You are great. Now, let's have some more. What is it? A generalization is a broad statement that applies to many examples. A generalization is formed from several examples or facts and what they have in common. Now, let's have this. Now, why do we teach this? Well, we know that we allow students to make judgments based on the text, evaluate the text, form opinions, and note details. These are integral skills in allowing students to make generalizations. Think of an umbrella. Okay? Think of an umbrella. There are a lot of parts there. Okay? On top of the umbrella is the generalization. It's a statement, the thesis statement. Below, we have supporting detail 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? It is how a text containing generalization looks like. Okay? That's the schematic diagram. Let's have an example, how to teach. Okay? Making generalizations. For example, Katie had an apple for breakfast. Detail 1. Katie had a banana too. Detail 2. Katie had an orange also. Katie had a slice of toast, the last detail. What can we say about Katie's breakfast? Anyone? You probably said that Katie had a lot of fruit for breakfast. Haven't you thought of that? Okay. You could even generalize that Katie likes fruit or likes fruits. Okay. So these are your generalizations based on the text. Repeated ideas. Okay. How about this? Chocolate is everyone's favorite dessert. Is it a good generalization? Why do you think so? It's not. Because of the word everyone. Because it's a red flag in stating it is a generalization at some point, but you know that there are other details that are missing. That makes it not a valid generalization. It is a generalization still, but not a valid one. What do we call it? Faulty. How is it said? Faulty. It's okay. What is wrong with this generalization? It's not valid. You have statement everyone. Other details are missing. Let's have this one. Okay? Who wants to read? Come on, give it to me. Yes, sir. The same, sir, who volunteered.
Ginger is one of my best friends. When I enter my home, she races to greet me with kisses and excited lips. She acts like it's 8 days since she's seen me. Instead of the actual 8 hours, her coat is down. Her eyes are large and loving. She is a 6-month-old Cocker Spaniel puppy, a breed originally intended to birds in England. Her faithful companionship comforts me when I am sad or sick. Her playfulness makes me laugh when she races after a toy I've tossed. All Cocker Spaniels make perfect pets.
Okay, thank you. Notice the statement, all Cocker Spaniels make perfect pets. We will scrutinize in just a while if the last statement is a good generalization based on the details. Okay? Now let's do the coding. Okay? She races to greet me. Ginger is one of my best friends. This time you ask, what kind of creature is Ginger?
or what kind of creature Ginger is. Okay? Dog. What kind of creature that races to greet you? It's a dog. It can be a cat. Okay? What can acts like it's been 8 days since she's seen me? What else? A breed originally intended to hunt birds in England. There is specificity. Faithful companionship. What creature can be a good companion? Comforts you when you're sad. Okay? At some points, playful and makes you laugh. Therefore, the generalization all Cocker Spaniels make perfect pets. Is it an acceptable generalization? All? Ginger is just one. Then the last statement, all Cocker Spaniels make perfect pets. Is it a valid generalization? No. We know this time. Okay, you have there all. Is this a valid? You're right when you said no, it's not. Okay, we have to be wary on hasty generalizations, jumping into conclusions. Okay.
Okay, so what have you learned in watching the video? In making generalization according to our resource speaker, we have to make sure that our generalization is valid. And we can only say it's valid if it is supported by facts. If it agrees with what you already know about the topic. It uses logic and reasoning. It is proven with several examples. So readers recognize and evaluate generalizations made by an author. Readers make and support their own generalizations based on a reading selection. Then our speaker also emphasized for us to make sure that our generalization is not faulty. Faulty means it is not supported by facts. Let us watch for the keywords none, all, always, never, everyone, and nobody. Okay, so are we now ready to answer the questions that I posted? Question number 1. What is drawing conclusion as a reading skill? It is making meaning out of what is not clearly stated. It's a skill in reading between the lines, since not everything is explicitly stated or spelled out all the time. Second question, what is the difference between drawing conclusions and making generalizations? Conclusions are more specific and generalizations have a larger application, meaning they are more general. Third question, how do we teach drawing conclusions? Let us explain to the learners that we make conclusions about things and draw inferences all the time. Draw conclusion together and then talk about clues we're used to come to that conclusion. Number 4 question, how can we say that our generalizations are valid? It was clearly discussed to us by our speaker that a valid generalization is when a generalization is made that is true in all cases. Now, to sum it up, let us always remember, let us go back to the drawing the conclusion that we have the information from the text plus what I already know equals I can draw a conclusion. Then, how can I tell generalizations? These are some of the keywords that will help us remember, that will guide us in telling generalizations. We have many, rarely, few, probably, generally, most, some, often, and might. These are usually the words that would start generalization. These are some of the signal words that that actually telling us that we are already coming up with a generalization. Valid generalization, again, I would just like to emphasize, it's supporting facts and evidences. It has several examples, post-experience, and logic reasoning. So these are some of the elements that make up a valid generalization. If you're going to compare conclusion and generalization, let us always remember, let us always be reminded that a conclusion is a reasonable guess about ideas that are not stated in the text. What you've read plus what the text tells you, which is we consider as we know as the schema, is the decision you come to when you put these two together. While generalization, a conclusion that is true most of the time, but not always. So what you've read plus what you already know equals a general statement about something. Okay, so that's all for the presentation of session 14 on drawing conclusion and making generalization. For your questions, just post it in the comment box and we're ready to answer some of your queries for clarification. For your activity, for your task sheets, you just access the link that we will be posting, and after answering the questions, you just send it back and we can assess how far have you learned with this session. Thank you for listening. More power to all of us, and God bless us all.
Welcome
I
to
am welcoming.
CLMD Connect. In support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan LCP. I teach. Integrating technology academic community, the household. Ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulong Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao region.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hilda Opeña, for delivering the topic effectively. We will invite Dr. Opeña together with Ma'am Emily Papen later to answer your questions. Again, we encourage you to submit your questions through our Padlet link. Do not put it on the live comment section because we might not read it. So please send it through our Padlet link so we can have a satisfactory exchange of ideas with our facilitators. And again, please do not worry with the submission of your answers because we will still accept it until tomorrow. Again, we will still accept the answers of the task given by our facilitators until tomorrow. The links will be posted on the Facebook page of CLMD, so check it out later. For now, please focus your full attention to our last but definitely not the least speaker for today. He is our spirited regional education program supervisor of English, one of the brilliant minds behind this online training. Teachers, friends, Dr. Manuel Pandili Vallejo on his session, The Art of Pronunciation.
Welcome to CLMD Connect. In support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan LCP. I teach. Integrating technology academic community, the household. Ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulong Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao region.
Okay, so our speaker is not yet ready, so allow me to thank once again our education program supervisors and the rest of our facilitators for giving us their time and presence on this week-long online training. Thank you so much, Dr. Tito Andrina, Dr. Alan T. Gilaran, Dr. Raymond Aquino, Dr. Darwin Suya, Dr. Emily Raquel, Dr. Maria Angelita Perpetuas Huelto, Dr. Nancy Sumagaysay, Dr. Jesus Ambrona, Dr. Maria Gina Silvestre, Dr. Hilda Opeña, Dr. Leonila Berdin, Dr. Narmila Espedido, and Sir Bernardito Magno Jr. Thank you so much, and we shall see you again on the next batch of trainings in the future. Okay, so now our next speaker is ready. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo.
Good afternoon, dear teacher participants. So my high respect to our Regional Director, Dr. Evelyn R. Fitalvero, SASA 4, to our Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Maria Inesi Asuncion, SASA 5, to our Curriculum and Learning Management Division Chief, Dr. Janet G. Veloso, SESE, to all chiefs of the functional divisions of the Regional Office 11, Schools Division Superintendents, Assistant Schools Division Superintendents, CID Chiefs, and then to all regional and education program supervisors all throughout DepEd Region 11. Once again, to our dear English teacher participants, good afternoon. Well, this training on literacy instruction focuses on the basic teachings for learners as to phonological awareness, phonics, oral language, fluency, vocabulary, and many more. So my session centers on the teacher's development of reading and speaking, since some of us are experiencing commonly mispronounced words. Therefore, my topic highlights on the art of pronunciation, particularly on vowel sounds only. Why? Because we want to check on your commonly mispronounced words. This is where our experiences in the problem of producing the sounds incorrectly. Like, for instance, that instead of saying 10, you said 10. Ayan. So, hopefully, this time, my warm-up questions, activity, together with the other demonstration, will somehow help you in exploring, realizing the best thing to do so that we can eliminate this, what we call commonly mispronounced words. So, it is really indeed my intention to highlight the vowel sounds rather than the diphthongs and consonant sounds, because I have noticed that the common problems and pronunciation of some of us is the wrong production of vowel sounds. So let me start this way. Before I'll give you my formal lecture on pronunciation, I would like to start first with our warm-up activity. Ayan, so mahilig talaga ako sa warm-up activity. This is what we call contrastive words. Okay, so my direction for this is, I want you to choose only one word in a group. So before we start, I would like to you to get the paper, a scrap paper, and a pen for you to answer the following. Okay, let me start this way now. Again, all you have to do is you just get the number of the word that does not belong to the group. Let me start with number 1. This is it. Okay, your time starts now. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So time is up. Let me give you my answer. What do you think is the answer? Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, the answer is letter C. It's cashier. Why cashier? Let me pronounce the following so that you will know the difference. A, it's menu. B, debut. D, plagiarism. So letter C is cashier, which does not belong to the group. It's a short sound because others have the long vowel sounds. Okay, number 2. Your time starts now. Okay, so choose one word which does not belong to the group. Then I'll give you my answer. 3, 2, and 1. Time is up. Okay, let me give you my answer. My answer is letter. What do you think? It's letter B. The sound of letter B is meant. Why? Because letter A is bleed. Letter C is heal. And letter D is sweet. Letter B is met. Short vowel sound. The rest are having the long E sounds. Number 3. Ayan. In 5 seconds. Again, what is that word which does not belong to the group? Is it A, B, C, D, or E? In 3, 2, letter A is pause. B, ball. C, shawl. So letter D is having a different sound. If you got correct, congratulations. Let's move on to number 5. Okay, read properly. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Time is up. The answer is the answer is letter B. Ayan. Aba, bakit letter B? Okay. Let me give you the proper sounds. Letter B is sounding to be food. Food. Letter A is, okay, try to compare. Letter A is pool. Letter C is nude or nude. Both are correct. And the letter D is shrew. Therefore, the answer is letter B, which is food. Congratulations for having the correct answer. For those who have no answer yet, no correct answer yet, go on. Okay, the end is not near. So let's move on to number 6. Okay, wait, sorry. Number 6. Again, number 6. Of course, I'm not going to give you my sounds, my pronunciation. Okay, you go on, read properly. Anyway, this is just a warm-up. Don't you worry, we cannot get it because we will process the words later on. Okay, the answer time is up. The answer is letter B. It's tread. Ayan. Kasi sabi ng iba, other may mispronounces as street. No, it's tread. Why? Is it the correct answer as the error, which does not belong to the group? Because letter A is, it's a long E sound as breathe. Next, teeth. Next, heed. The last one is tread. Short E as in eh. Okay, congratulations. Let's move on to number 7. I hope you're learning with this, a warm-up activity. This is really a heavy warm-up because later on you will come to realize why. Okay, it's number 7. Ayan, your time in 5 minutes. Start now. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The answer is. What do you think is the answer? Is it A, B, C, or D? The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is letter A. How am I sounding? Listen, it's cash. Cash. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not kache. It's not cash. It's cash. I'll pay it in a cash basis. That's the homonym. So the spelling differ. Yeah, differs rather. Okay. So letter A is the answer. It's cash. Letter B, crawl. Letter C, bought. Letter D, call. The answer is letter A. Please try to observe me. How do I pronounce the last letter? Shall we say letter T? That's the final sound, letter T. Again, you really have to put what emphasis on letter T. Sometimes you mispronounce it as bought. Ayan. You really have to emphasize it as bought. Then call, aspirated, K as in call. Ayan. Next. Ayan, malapit na matapos. Number 8. Still have 4 keywords. Now, the same instruction in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up. The answer is letter A. Letter A, excuse me, is not now. It's not G now. It's no. It's not no. It's no. Because letter B, look at my proper B there. Letter B, this is a proper guide for you to pronounce the word. Letter B is sounded to be so, C, do, D, do. C and layo. Letter A is no. It's short O as in O. Ayan. Thank you so much and congratulations for your correct answer. We're not yet done. Kunti na lang. Now we move on to number 9. Number 9. You may start now. 3, 2, 1. Yay! Time is up! Okay. I know you're feeling that you're reacting. Ang bilis ko, no? Don't you worry. This is just a part of the warm-up. Excuse me. The answer is letter D. It's gold. Gold is long O, as in O, gold. Because letter A is sounded to be short as mall. O. Morgue. Excuse me, it's not morgue. It's a morgue. So our motto now is beginning today. Try to practice. Beginning today. Try to change. Beginning today. Try to refresh yourselves. Okay, let's move on to number 10. Do. Oh, wait. Ayan. This is number 10. Okay, your time starts now. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and time is up. The answer is letter A. Letter A is sounding as, look at my reading, plaid. Excuse me, it's not play. It's plaid. Letter B sounded as malt. Yan. Emphasis the T sound. Next is volt. Volt. Letter D is hot. Hot. Try to practice it now that you really have to emphasize the T sound. Because sometimes you will say as hot. Excuse me, it's hot. Okay, congratulations for those who have perfect answers. And then for those who have wrong answers, that means to say you did not pass. So what would be my remarks? God bless you for that. You mean to say that you need to practice more? And then if ever you do not understand the meaning of the word and the sound, then try to see the Google. Because the Google will help you. Not just the meaning, but also the what? The pronunciation or the sound. Pindutin mo lang sa gilid. Meron parang microphone. Merong drawing ng sound doon. Yun. Ang gagawin mo. Okay. Thank you so much. And now, let's move on to ito na. Reflection check. You know what? Vowel sounds. When we say vowel, okay, we have 5 vowel letters in the alphabet. Diba? These 5 vowel letters are classified into 2. Yan. Again, let me give you these 5 vowel letters. We have the A, the E, the I, and the U. But then this time, let's start with the short vowel sounds. The X, the X. The short vowel sounds. Again, this is just refreshing you. Okay, this is not new to you. This is actually your practice in the classroom, or even you yourselves. I am doing this one for professional development because as we all experiencing that sometimes now, this is the truth. It's very easy. It's very inspiring to outsmart, to outshine everyone. And you are the greatest. Why? Because you did pronounce the words well. So meaning to say, aside from the correct grammar that you are crafting, creating, wow, you are good in grammar and at the same time in sounds, wow, you are the greatest. Honestly, for the vowel sounds, ang pinakamahirap ay ang short vowel sounds. Napakadali ng long vowel sounds. Ito na. The 5 letters, vowel letters in short sounds are. Okay. Look at that bidding. Yan. Yun na gawin nyo, teacher. Supposing you apply this one with your teaching, learning, so we say situation, scenario in the classroom. But if for yourselves, as your personal consumption, you must know it that the bidding for the short is going like this. Okay. Now, look at me. Open your mouth widely. Open your mouth clearly. You may repeat after me. Again, you may repeat after me. Look at my letter P. It's aspirated. Repeat. Just like the word power. Aspirated. So meaning to say, there is that air coming from the diaphragm. Yeah. So it helps somehow with the proper articulation. Again, if you produce the sounds correctly, if you compose sentences grammatically correct, wow, again, congratulations, you are the greatest. Okay, look at my reading. The short vowel sounds. Okay. Repeat after me. Next. 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 Again. Okay. So that's it. Next. Ang dali-dali, ang bilis-bilis for the LVS, the long vowel sounds. Look at my bidding. Pag sinabing long, medyo pataasan ng bidding. Okay, go. A, E, I, O, U. Again, look at my bidding. Okay, my distance. Come on. A, E, I, O, U. Yan. So the mouth formation will be somewhat like bigger. You have to articulate, you have to exaggerate so that the production of sounds will be attained by you. Now, let me move on to the next. I want you now to observe the commonly mispronounced words. These are common, very much common words. But I tell you, you mispronounced these words. Ayan, uulitin ko. Napaka-ordinaryo, simple ng words. But then, hindi tama ang pagkabigkas. Why? Okay, let me mispronounce first the words. Let me mispronounce first the words. Kasi ito, minsan, ang ginagawa natin. Okay, ito na! Yay! Okay. Ang sabi mo, coupon. Ang sabi mo, mango. Next, bamboo. Next, cocoa. Next, apple. Minsan pa nga sinabi mo, apple. Aba, double murder. Double murder. Apple na, apple pa. Okay. Another one is, ito, wrong pronunciation. Ang sabi mo, buffet. Ayan. Uy, sobra naman ako ha. Kunti lang. Siguro kakaunti lang naman ang nagkamali. Okay. The other one, sometimes you mispronounce it as Caden. Caden. Akala mo pangalan ng tao, si Caden. Okay. Now, let me give you the proper or the correct pronunciation of the following keywords. Now, repeat after me. Coupon. Coupon. Example, coupon bond. Ayan. Coupon bond. Sabi ng bata, sa tindahan ba? Mother tongue. Ayo, Manang, meron ka bang coupon bond? Ayan. Medyo nainis ang tindera. Sabi ng tindera, sabadya, wala ni diri coupon bond. Ang naalang din sa mo, bond paper. Yay! Bond paper. Double murder. Ayan. Next! Sabi ko kanina, mango. Excuse me, magbago na tayo. 21st century scale. Ipairal natin. The CPI. Mamaya, ipalimutan ng CPI na yan. Okay. Again, coupon. Mango. Bamboo. Cocoa. Apple. Buffet. Cabin. Oh, di ba? Alam ko sabi ng karamihan sa inyo, sir, paki-ulit please. Okay, pagbibigyan. Ready? Repeat after me. Coupon. Mango. Bamboo. Cocoa. Apple. Buffet. Cabin. Yay! Congratulations sa mga tama ang pagkabigkas. Ayan. Kung wala kayo nakapronounce, your rating is ARN. Kung medyo gahi uba ba, your rating is ARN. O sa manang ARN, agta rin na sayod. Agta rin na sayod. Joke, joke. Okay, next please. Ayan, we are now starting. We are now applying. Okay. The title of the selection is The Peerless Street cleaner. Ano sa palagay niyo ang sound ko? The P-less street cleaner. The sound is long E. Long E, P-less, street cleaner. Ayan. Please try to capture the selection because you'll be practicing at home. This is a nice starter, especially for the K-3. Ayan. Aside sa iyo. Okay, this is it. Hindi lang K-3, higher level grades. Okay, look at the selection. Ayan. Repeat after me or go with me. We feel like heaving, deep sighs, or weeping, or screaming, and immediately pleading. Please repeat. Had you noticed that letter S, isisingit ko na lang since I am not touching the consonant sounds. Okay, isisingit ko na lang dito. This is all about vowel sounds. Since we're touching letter S here, S is sounding to be Z. Okay. Supposing you pronounce this please, that's correct. Please is more correct. That's the art of pronunciation. Please repeat. Yon. P aspirated, repeat, the art of pronunciation. When we hear so many long E's, so meanly treated, the reader who reads, he beat the drum for the beats, or he beats the drum, defeats the meaning of speech fiercely. Ayan. So congratulations for those who are pronouncing the words properly, correctly. Okay. Now, next sound. Okay. The title is A Silly Little Kitten. A Silly Little Kitten. What do you think is the sound? Is it short or long? Yes, this is short. Short I as in E. E. Silly. E. Aside from that, E. Ink. E. If. E. Is. Ayan. A silly little kitten. Please go with me. Go. A silly little kitten sitting in the kitchen dimly distinguished a big insect on the brim of a pitcher of milk, instinctively hit the brim of pitcher in its wish to kill the insect. It missed the insect, tipped and spilled the rich milky liquid. Ayan. So you have to pronounce the final sounds well. Next sound, please. Okay, the title is Young Eleno. Young Eleno. The sound is short E as in E. Short E as in E. Sometimes you'll pronounce this, it depends upon the accent. American English pronunciation, sometimes it's pronounced as Eleno. Hello, young Eleno. Here. Okay, Eleno is the right one. This is it. Go with me. Go. Young Eleno was a clever, intelligent fellow, and he possessed several vestiges of energy. But he was very erratic. When he entered college, his friends said, he'll never get through. His college education tended to be without system, yet he held on and kept his head above water. So that's it. Long E as in Eleno. As in Eleno. Next, please. The sound is short A as in A. The cat and the can. Again, may kulang ako. The cat and the can. It's digraph. Short A as in A. Please go with me. An amusing adventure happened to Nancy our black cat one afternoon. Ambling along the alley which adjoins the pantry, her attention was attracted by what appeared to be a glass can of cream. Ayan. You really have to emphasize the sound. Digraph. Thank you so much for reading with me because you were producing the correct sounds. Let's move on to the next. Okay, this one. The title is The Prudent Student. Again, prudent is long double O. Long double O. Prudent. Long double O with the line on top. Again, long double O with line on top is what we call long O sound. And then the next word is student. Student. Or student. Student. Both are correct. Student, British pronunciation, then student, American English pronunciation. Another example for that is supervisor, superintendent, superman. Those are British in accent. And then for student, supervisor, superman, long double O sound with the line on top. That is what we call long double O sound. Pag student, that is long U sound. Again, long U sound for student, student, long double O sound. Okay, please go with me as we read. Ready, go. It behooves the prudent student who chooses to eschew all crude articulation and who chooses to be imbued through with an aptitude for fluent articulation and true blue English to lose no opportunity to confuse hooked words. Again, for confuse, you have the long U sound. For hooked, you have the long double O sound. So that's it. Again, for the word confuse, the art of pronunciation S becomes Z. Confuse is correct. Do not be confused because confuse as the other art of pronunciation is also correct. Next. Okay, the title is The Book and the Cook. The Book and the Cook. Yan, medyo kabaligtaran. Kanina, long double O sound. This time, you have the short double O sound. Again, kanina, long double O sound with the straight line on top. This time, short double O sound with the line like this. The curved line like this. Parang humihiga na letter C. Okay. Again, the book and the cook. Ayan. So, please go with me. Go. I took a good look and I felt at once that he was the crook who took my book, which is hook. Usually cooks are not men of books. Some are men of one book, the cookbook. This cook was a man of another book, my book. Thank you and congratulations for producing the sounds properly. Next is one. The old professors. The old professors. Old is having the long O sound. O with the straight line. O with the straight line on top. That's long O sound. That is pronounced as O. Old. This one is professors. Do not say professors. It's long O, old. Then professors is short O, as in pro. Short O, short O. Look at my action. Then old is long O. O, di ba? Ang bilis. Thank you for the learning. Yeah, di ba mabilis? No need to look at the dictionary. All you have to do is to, what? To be acquainted more with the short and the long. No more, no less. Except with the other, what? Keys to pronunciation through the use of dictionary. Dictionary, not dictionary. Dictionary, not dictionary. Okay. But then this time, you are making use of the Google. So what's the difference between these words through Google and dictionary? Kasi minsan, you need to know the etymology, yeah, the history of words. You need to look at the dictionary. Anong part of the speech then? And so on and so forth. Then sa Google, limited siya. Okay, please go with me. The old professor, though, okay, can we check? Letter O here, professor. Okay, sabi ko kanina, professor. Ayan, ibig sabihin dito, kasi naka-highlight, professor. Professor. Medyo confused ako. The old professor. Ayan, sabi ko kanina, professor. The old professor. Professor. Ayan, so that's your assignment, ha? Pag medyo may confusion, yeah, look at the what? Mapapatulong tayo sa kay Mr. Webster, kay Mr. Google, at saka kay Madam Miriam. Again, the old professor or professor, though loath to scold, arose and broke into a copious flow of reproaches, bemoaning the coldness of those so prone to joke over Homer's poetry and Cicero's prose, and not that alone, but over quotations from known and unknown poets. Thank you for that. Next, this time it's short O, as in awe. Repeat after me. Orphan. Paul. Orphan. Paul. So PH are both letters to be sounding as F. Orphan Paul. Let's begin. One morning, Paul, an orphan, word of poor and a snotty four, was warned by his warden not to walk, stalk, or crawl off the lawn. Although Paul saw that the warden was boss and often cross, when his orders and warnings were ignored. Ayan. So it's a combination. Okay. It's short O lang talaga, as in O. It's word. It's warn. Stop. Paul. Warnings. Again. Orders. Short O as in O. The number O is different. O versus O.
Welcome to CLMD Connect. In support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan LCP. I teach. Integrating technology academic community, the household. Ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulong Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao region.
Hey! Bitin kayo, no? Sobrang bitin. Actually, this session is not included in the national training. It is just filler, since Filipino has 15 sessions and then English has only 14. Parang tawag yun, pinantay lang ang number of sessions. And then, it is just but my simple intention to refresh ourselves, including me, about the significance of vowel sounds. Bakit nga ba vowel sounds lang? Why is it not diphthongs or consonants? Why? It is because vowel sounds usually encountered by so many of us relative to the emphasis on the production of sounds. Yun na nga, the short sound versus the long sound. Sabi ko kanina, di ba, pag sinabing tin and ten, aba may pagkaiba. May malaking pagkakaiba. Okay, so then take note also that the English speaking is into two. The British versus American. For example, today is Friday and I want it today. And then for British, today is Friday and I want it today. O, di ba? Today is Friday and I want it today. Ito ba ganito? Tomorrow, you have to come at 8 o'clock. Do not be late. Yeah, so that's British. Then for English, that's 8 and then late. My friends, teacher participants, I want to end up by giving you one style or strategy of teaching. We call it just chanting versus this famous or popular tongue twisting. What is it? The Peter Piper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper, that's it. Tongue twisting. But in this time, I wanted to be in jazz chanting. So, teachers, I do salute you. I do appreciate with your caliber, with your expertise, with your creativity. Because uh, the best teacher guide, the best what do you call this one PowerPoint, it's gonna be you yourselves. You can even conduct classes under the mango tree. What is your PowerPoint? What is your learning material? It's gonna be you. Once upon a time, there was an old man who happened to be blah 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 blah. Then you have to change your voices. We call it vocal characters. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you this jazz chant. So, kailangan ako titinig na kaunti. Okay. So, I'll do it conclusively with this, jazz chanting. Ayan. Ang pangalan nito, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Okay, ganito lang yan. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Go! Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. A peck of pickled pepper, Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Ayan. Dire-diretso ha? Dire-diretso. Ready? Go with me. Pwede rin kayo sumayaw. Lagyan ng choreography. Lagyan konti ng aside from explicit teaching, you are applying the virtual theater. Ready? Pwede rin sumayaw. Okay. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Pwede rin ko pa niyan, di ba? Peter Piper picked. Oh, you know what? The moment you do it, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, fellow teachers, educators, frontliners, I'll tell you, try to do it. Beginning August 24, you will be the greatest teacher on earth. Because of that, the learners won't be absent anymore. Aside from turning your classroom into class home, plus the positive points coming from the teacher, a cheerful teacher, a teacher who represents the second mother. This is now the big test of time. You are doing it in school, you're doing it at home. Yeah. In the absence of teacher at home, do it as the representation. Kung ano man yun. Therefore, a teacher, a parent must be dual as your role or responsibility. Now, ito na. Beginning August 24, itong gawin mo as a strategy of teaching. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. They just chance away. Okay? Are you ready? Aha! Okay. Good morning, class. Good morning, sir. Okay, this morning I'll give you, or let's talk about sounds. The vowel sounds. I'll give you the keywords. All you have to do is to give me whether it's long or short. Did you get my point? Okay, let's start. The words are pen, short, meat, long, cell, short, male, long, soft, short, muse, long, mat, short, road, long, stop, in the name of love, yay! Okay. So, in closing, teachers in English, dahil sa totoo lang, we English teachers in the school, kapag may mga programs, kapag may mga iba't ibang gawain sa mga schools, you call the teachers in English. We seem to be more talented, skillful. I did emphasize now the reading, speaking, aside from for the other four macro skills. No. Ilan ba? Five. So three. Aside from the other three macro skills. So teachers, we are the true frontliners. Okay. So, where God's heavenly gifts to everyone. Good luck. Whew. Okay, at this point in time, I would like to call on my co-facilitators to please join with me para sa open forum. Yay! I would like to call on Dr. Hilda Peña, and then we have Ma'am Emeline Raquel. Oo. Okay. Ma'am Emeline, you're here. Ma'am Ems, congratulations. Where's
Hi,
Ma'am
thank
Hilda? Yes, good afternoon. Ah, ayan.
Magaling mo, sir.
I am performing with the different faculties of my body. Okay. Oy, Ma'am Hilda, Ma'am Ava. Where's Ma'am Hilda? Where's Ma'am Hilda? Hello, Ma'am Hilda. Okay, so I'm here now at the CLMD office. Mr. Tito, good position. Dr. Indrina, welcome back. Hello, Sir Tito. Actually, si Sir Tito ang ating national trainer representing Region 11 during the National Literacy Instruction. So, kumbaga, sa kanyang session, siya ang facilitator and at the same time, the readers, video, speaker, two-in-one. Sir Tito, bumalik ka ha, lahat ng questions ay sasagutin mo. We have to take it away.
Thank you so much. Salute to our Education Program Supervisor, Region 11. Thank you, Doc Manuel P. Vallejo, for polishing up on our phonology. Indeed, speech is the power of the heart. Thank you so much also to our resource facilitators this afternoon, who enable to empower and realize the full potential of our learners through the pedagogical skills shown through the topics presented and commit meaningfully in our afternoon's session. Thank you, Madam Emeline Arakel and Dr. Tito M. Endrina from Digo City, who is back this afternoon. And of course, this is for the awareness of everyone that there are questions posted in the Padlet, and then I will read that one now. And let me start, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo, to Dr. Tito M. Endrina. Doc, I will read this once again. And this is actually coming from the division of Davao del Sur. Okay. But by the way, Doc Vallejo, we're also expecting Dr. Hilda Opeña from the division of Davao de Oro, an education program supervisor as well.
How I wish you could be joining with us. I think there is connectivity problem. I don't think so. Okay.
Okay,
So,
thank you so much. Here's the question for Dr. Tito M. Endrina. From the division of Davao del Sur, I would like to ask po if what can we do if the statement of the story is simple and understandable, yet the pupil still cannot get the main idea?
Hello, Mama Maureen. Thank you. Thank you also for the teacher from Davao del Sur Division who have asked that question. As we should always remember that as learners progress their education to higher grades, they're actually asked to read complex sentences, words, paragraph, and story sections. And with that, they're also required to understand all of this. But if the teacher thinks that the paragraph or selection is simple, yet the students cannot comprehend that, I think let's try to figure out this time if the selection we give to learners are applicable for that students to discern the text. This will show that before the start of the class, it should have been done that teachers should conduct survey tests as to the reading interest of the learners. If that is being done, we can have a collection of list of learners who are into gardening, the different hobbies, different interests in life, and this can be our source of text material to the learners. So it's important that the learners should be interested with what they read so they can interact with the text. And more so, I would like to address that question by saying that there should be an appropriate number of words per grade level per learner because sometimes the learners are overwhelmed with the too lengthy text that it makes them bored to read the selection. So key points po, check if the learners are interested to what we give them. Second, let's look at the length of the paragraph. And third is also check if basta kita lang di ganahan, di sayunan sa material, but this is quite difficult for the learners. So that's a check, self-evaluation po. Thank you, Ma'am Maureen.
Thank you so much. That's coming from the phenomenal national resource speaker himself, Dr. Tito M. Endrina. We are very fortunate once again because he really comes back now for this open forum where he can address the issue properly. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Endrina. We'll proceed to the next question, and I believe that this is for Dr. Hilda Opeña. This is all about the conclusion and generalization from the division of Davao del Norte. I am just confused as to the contrasting ideas given on which is bigger, conclusions or generalizations. Thank you po for the clarification.
I think our national speaker can answer that. Okay, but before that, Miss Ava, excuse me for a while. There
Yes,
are
Doc.
questions on me. Many questions addressed on me. You know what is it? Sir, what are your tasks? What are your guide questions for session 15? My answer is there will be no tasks, no guide questions, no assignments because I love you all. Okay. And then one more thing is, dear participants, don't you worry about your outputs because you can actually submit on the particular links, beginning sessions 1 until 14. Yeah, you can actually you continue answering, submitting on the link until tomorrow midnight. Di ba? Okay, hello, Mr. National Speaker. Could you please answer that one? Conclusion versus
Okay.
generalization. Okay.
Thank you. So the teacher is confused whether which one is bigger, generalization or conclusion. The best answer for that is taken from Journey North. It is stated that a generalization is a specific kind of conclusion, but not all conclusions are generalizations. It means that a generalization is a broad statement that applies to many examples. Also, it is formed from several examples or facts and what they have in common. So let's not mix up with which one is bigger and which one is smaller, but definitely learners, the task here is we should let the learners develop this reading skill because it's important for them to get across the meaning of the selection they are reading at hand. Thank you, Ma'am Maureen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tito M. Endrina. That totally makes him exceptional national resource facilitator. He is so varied on the questioning and answer portion today. Thank you, and we'll proceed to the next. Okay, so from the Division of Davao del Sur, good afternoon po. For fact and opinion groupings, we were mentioned. How do we do that when there is no face-to-face classes?
That's us.
How do we do that when there is no face-to-face classes? From the Division of Davao del Sur, good afternoon. For fact and opinion, groupings were mentioned. However, how do we do that when there is no face-to-face classes?
Hello, Ma'am Ems. Please take it away. That's your
Okay. Yes, Miss Ava. Thank you for that question. Well, that is just one of the many activities that the teachers can do. So that grouping can just be done during face-to-face, when we already have that face-to-face with the learners. But this time, of course, we will not be applying that activity. Uh, Actually, this uh, literacy instruction webinar seminar was done without prior to this pandemic. So I suggest that is coming from our speakers. But actually, we will not also be thinking that we will just be up to this. Of course, we can have the time later in the future or maybe sooner that we can already have the opportunity to have that face-to-face interaction with our learners. So that's the time that we can apply the grouping. So this is something that they have also to employ in their teaching learning process. This is very important also.
Thank you so
Yes,
much,
ma'am.
Emmeline R. Raquel. Okay, so we'll move to the next question from Julius Andrew Calicdan of Davao del Norte. Error correction is a vital part of the language classroom. The longer an error is left to sit in a learner's language, the harder it is to get rid of. Any tips on how we can correct the pronunciation errors of our students in the new normal setup, most especially in a far-flung area with no internet access, no appliance, where only the modular modality is applicable, not to mention that their parents also do not know how to correct their children?
Miss Aba, I want to answer with an emotion. Well, I do understand that sometimes a learner does not pronounce the words well. It's understandable. Most especially, I can actually relate to that because I am in charge of the IPED, the Indigenous Peoples Education, that with due respect to the mother tongue or the IP languages. Ayan. So what is important is, honestly okay, basically number one, the most important thing is for a learner to read with comprehension, with understanding. So pronunciation, production of sound is just secondary thing. Napaka-importante ng pagbasa na may pagkakaintindi talaga. Okay, so later on, as the gradually exposed into reading, ayan, so the students will learn smoothly, step by step, but with the guidance of the teacher. So that's it. And another thing pala, the most influential person to really help the learner is the parents. Because the parents at home, kaya nga itong problema yung mother tongue nila English. Di ba? Pagdating sa school, English siya. Sometimes Tagalog. But then mind you, nagka-problema ng kaunti. Sometimes the learner doesn't understand the sinugbuan ng Binisaya anymore. So according to the story, this is true, na nawala ang bata. Hindi masyado makaintindi ng Bisaya. Nawala yung bata. Tapos, nagtanong, hindi makaintindi, hindi nakauwi. Nawala siya. He got lost because of the language barrier. Again, uulitin ko, pronunciation is just a secondary thing. As long as the kid reads and understand, that is very much important thing. Thank you, Miss Ava.
Well said, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo. I know you are very expert of that, knowing the fact that you are the English program supervisor
Sandali, Miss
in Thai
Ava.
Region 11.
Miss
Go
Ava,
ahead, Dr. Vallejo.
I may be getting lost with my topic. Ano ba importance kung bakit ko na why am I introducing that one na hindi secondary thing pala? I am actually presenting that kind of lesson, kind of session for us fellow teachers to really improve ourselves when it comes to the professional thing, pronunciation. Kasi once you do it, grammar plus sounds, wow, sabi ko kanina, you are the greatest. Importante for us as teachers. But then for the learners, basically, primary, pwede na rin secondary.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo. You're great. You're the brilliant on this regional
Sorry,
training on literacy instruction. Moving on to the next question from the Division of Davao del Sur, Ms. Irene Fatima Diaz to Dr. Vallejo. Please help to lobby our issues in higher education curriculum to add phonetic teaching for education students for them to be ready for the field of teaching reading. In the field of teaching reading. Thank you very much.
Miss Ava, the question has been answered. This is not the first step. Mind you, sir, after this one, we shall be having thorough series of trainings like this. Upon hearing from the comments, suggestions, recommendations from these frontliners, we had to we had to propose for this kind of trainings. After realizing the big six, so di ba? Take note on that big six. The first one is oral conversation, oral language. Number two is phonological awareness. Number three is uh, phonics. Number four is vocabulary, fluency, and the sixth one is comprehension. No, di ba? The big six. Oh, be careful on that word six, ha? Ayan, kasi you mispronounce it sometimes also. The big six. Short I, as in E. Oh, di ba? Pasok sa mga. Miss Ama, tapos na.
Thank you so much, sir. You are so lively today in our discussion on this open forum. I'm pretty sure we addressed very properly Ms. Irene Fatima Diaz of the Division of Davao del Sur on her question with regard to the higher education. Thank you so much. Before we queue for our final statements together with my partner, Ms. Marge, however, we have Dr. Tito M. Andrina and Madam Emeline R. Raquel to your conveying messages to our regional 11 participants. Please go ahead, Dr. Tito M. Andrina.
Thank you, Ma'am Ava. My dearest educators of Region 11, I am very much happy to be part of this webinar with you. And I look forward that you will take the challenge of applying what you have learned in this training, especially that we are now having a different modality. We form some friendship with other members of the team here by simply soliciting ideas as how to teach reading, how to teach effectively, especially that we are ranked all last in terms of reading as the results of the PISA goes or presented to us. Things might not be very easy for us because whatever the child has learned and has not learned are being blamed on us. But with this persistence, with this faith that we are really taking charge of the learning of our learners, I believe that we can make miracles. We might not be able to harvest the fruit of our labor today, but in the future, we can surely make our learner a reader at their own level. And for things to become easy, please please feel free to ask your supervisors, your teachers, your principals, your friends, and other teachers, especially those who are seasoned in the position, because these teachers have actually a wealth of knowledge which cannot be found in the book. And these teachers will be very much eager to help us also teach how to make the readers become fluent reader. At the same time, they're able to read with comprehension. And together, we take the challenge. We take this as one family, as one DepEd, and as one worker for our nation. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tito M. Andrina, an Education Program Supervisor, Division of Digos City. Now, we move to Madam Emeline R. Riquel, District Head, Division of Davao del Sur.
Okay, so thank you so much to Dr. Vallejo for this opportunity and to everyone for really giving this opportunity that I can be one of the facilitators. It is an honor. And as a reading advocate, I would like to say that as the teachers should have in mind that we have really this responsibility. We have this mission to our learners. This will be our gift to them. And so, continuously in Davao del Sur, we have our division, reading, focal, our EPS in English. Dr. Joy Barriquet has continuously been doing a lot of activities, a lot of programs, and I am part of that. I am so proud that we've been doing a lot of things, a lot of trainings like this. We even have that. I just would like to say to the teachers now that they are so lucky, they are so fortunate that every one of them is given really this opportunity to have this first-hand info. To have this, it's just like attending a national training, right? Because they are also viewing the video that we have also viewed, that we personally listened to during the national training that we were able to attend. And so to the teachers again, do not lose hope and really striving hard to do more things so that we can really produce quality learners by making them really readers. So that, as we know, reading is really prerequisite, a prerequisite skill for them to learn more in other learning areas. So that's all. And thank you so much for your very active participation, dear participants. Good afternoon once again.
Thank you so much, Madam Emeline R. Raquel and Dr. Tito M. Andrine. We are just but elated with the presence of these professionals and with their professional achievements, with the kind of the best efforts extended to our teachers in Thai Region 11. And of course, to Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo, would you like to convey any message, sir, to our teachers in Region 11?
Okay, Shirley. I would just like to have this opportunity to thank, recognize, acknowledge, yes, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much and congratulations to all Division Education Program Supervisors, British. Yan, starting day 1 until tomorrow, day 5. Thank you so much for the success of our literacy, the rollout on the regional literacy training. This is our first time actually, so we encountered the problems. Okay, actually, it really pained me when I read your comments on the air that the problems are with the connectivity. Second, is on the videos. So thank you so much for understanding, because these people are really trying, not their best, including I myself. Ang problema, di ba later, the succeeding days, medyo okay na. Kasi yung mga nauna, medyo nagkaroon ng aberya. Ayan, so, pasensya na sa mga kakulangan, sa mga kapalbakan ng aberya. But then, honestly, these people were really performing and doing their parts with the godly mission and purpose. Thank you so much for understanding us. Kaya nga, ito na Miss Ava, i-explain ko na lang regarding your output ninyo. Yung submission ng outputs para sa per facilitators assignment sa inyo, actually hanggang bukas pa yun, until tomorrow midnight. Sessions 1 until 14, sa 15 wala na, until 14, open pa ang link. Keep on submitting. Walang problema, we'll still accept all those. And then, for the connectivity problem, ganun ang explanation pala is, kasi we are 16,000 plus, umabot pa kami sa ng 20,000 plus, o di ba? Sabi nga ng guest natin kanina, for the very first time, ngayon lang siya nakapag ng ODS na it reaches na umabot ng mga thousands na ganoon. So naturally, nagkaroon ng traffic on the air, interconnectivity traffic problem. So ibig sabihin, pagka makasabay-sabay, yun, hindi makakasingit. Yan. Tapos ang atong comment box po, nag-aso-aso po siya. Well, I understand. Your comments will really be our grounds for improvement. Thank you so much. Ibig sabihin, nakikinig kayo. Ibig sabihin, you're very attentive. You listen to us. Ayan. Ano pa ba? Salamat, no? Sa ating, mga TWG members. Miss Ava, thank you so much. Miss Marjorie Hodrillo, thank you so much. These two ladies are in charge in the English. And then sa iba pang TWG, you have Eugene Abordo. At saka si Ma'am Casey ng Buhangin Central ba yun? Bernardo Carpio National High School. Am I correct?
Yes,
okay.
Doc. Yes, Doc. Bernardo
Ayan.
Carpio.
Tapos, for those who were giving also intermission numbers, thank you so much. Sino pa ba hindi ko pinasalamatan? Pagkakataon ko na ito, sino pa ba? Ay, tama, yung ICTU. Oh my God! Uy, ICTU, people! Salamat sa pag-intindi on and on behalf of facilitators at saka Division English Supervisors. Maraming salamat at pasensya na ha. Si Sir Cholo, si Sir Josh, si Ma'am Luj. Thank you so much. At saka kay Rick Ginto, ang kanilang hepe. Thank you so much. Yeah, congratulations. Uy, maraming salamat sa positive comments. I am reading. Ako'y natuwa naman. Thank you so much. Nag-enjoy daw sila. Thank you so much. God bless you. That's the power of prayers. So bawat gagawin niyo, mag-pray kayo para merong konting aagapay sa atin. Thank you so much. Sir Tito, Ma'am Ems, congratulations. God bless. Hindi makapasok si Miss Ava. Miss Ava, it's gonna be your action.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo, our Education Program Supervisor, Region 11. This is truly a mark of success of our brilliant mind for this one, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo, and he deserves a big round of applause. Even you're at the field right now, I know for sure in your heart that this is really a very big application and a help in this August 24, 2020, as we begin our new normal education. Once again, thank you, Madam Evelyn R. Raquel, District Head, Division of Davao del Sur. Thank you, ma'am. And of course, our phenomenal National Resource Facilitator, Dr. Tito M. Endrina, Education Program Supervisor, Division of Digos City. Thank you, Dr. Endrina. And we will put you backstage together with Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo. Thank you all so much. And I'm calling back again my partner, Miss Marjorie. Hello there, Miss Marge. Hello, Miss Marge. So we're almost done in our fourth day session, Miss Marge.
Yes, Miss Ava, and I think it is safe to say that we ended the sessions with a bang because of our lively regional supervisor, Sir Manuel Vallejo. Thank you so much, sir, and congratulations. Our viewers enjoyed your discussion, and your topic is a good refresher, not only for our teachers, but also for us, the host. Now, I'm a little conscious with my pronunciation. Good thing we are reporting to the same office, I and Dr. Vallejo, so I can consult him anytime. Okay, so thank you so much, sir. Okay. Everybody is at the back. Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
Miss
Miss
Marge.
Alma, I'd like to say before I forget, the evaluation link will be posted on the Facebook page of CLMD. Okay, so we will not be posting it now, but it's actually open. But okay, it's okay already. Okay, all right. So we will post it later. But of course, we will also post it on our Facebook page, CLMB Facebook page, as well as the link for the answers of the task given by our speakers on the Facebook page of CLMB. And just like what our supervisor said, you can still submit your answers until tomorrow.
Okay, so let us not forget, of course, at the same time that there is another roleta ng kapalaran. Of course, to do the recapitulation of our fourth day. Actually, this is the last day of the information overload with the 15 resource facilitators in our training. Okay, roleta ng kapalaran, Mr. Pocholo Hernandez, please take it away.
Okay, we will
Okay, there you go. Spin a wheel. Now, the lucky. Oh, it's coming from, again, the Island Garden City of Samal. The Island Garden City of Samal is the luckiest among the 11 divisions to do the recapitulation tomorrow.
Okay, I think we will roll it again, Miss Ava, because they are done already. Okay, so we will exclude once again divisions of Igacos, Tagum City, and Davao del Norte, if I'm not mistaken. So we will choose among the remaining eight SBOs. Okay, so while
Okay.
waiting for the new roulette, our evaluation link is now here below your screen, so you may access it now. You can set in your answers until tomorrow at 8 a.m. Okay, so at 8 a.m. we will uh, close it. So make sure to send in your answers or evaluate the English speakers, facilitators only. Okay, only evaluate the English sessions. Okay, so I think the roulette now is ready. Please spin the wheels, Sir Cholo.
Okay, there you go. And who's the luckiest schools division office to have? And that is coming from all the way from the division of Davao de Oro. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Division of Davao de Oro. The link will be given to your division supervisor, so they will just coordinate whoever will be chosen. And remember to only prepare at least 2 to 3 minutes message. All right, Miss Ava, any parting words before you or before we end this live stream? Oh, okay. So we have a prompt message here on our private chat. This is we will have a new link for the evaluation. I think is this the one being posted below? Okay, so this is the new link for the evaluation. It's bit.ly/literacy D4. Okay, so please disregard the link in tiny URL. Okay, so please follow this link posted below. Don't worry, we will also post this on the CLMD Facebook page. Go ahead, Miss Ava.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Miss March. And of course, this is really a well attended Miss March because this is coming from the 11 divisions of the entire Region 11. Of course, I'd like to thank my principal of the Santa Ana National High School, Dr. Riwel A. Alvarez, for the ever supportive principal, along with Ms. Ana Angelica Bautista and the Ray U. Pactor, our senior high school principal as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Jafmar Palawan. I'd like to thank them, Miss March, because they are also contributory in the success because they are always supportive in what endeavors that we have right now here. And thank you so much also for our viewers from Davao de Oro, Ms. Ruby Cabalda Pumikpik. Thank you so much, Madam, and Jonna Liray. Thank you, and of course to Sir Joseph of Davao Oriental. Thank you all so much, and to all Bansalan teachers of Davao del Sur from Miss Marjorie. Thank you all so much, guys, and to the viewers. We are one in the spirit on this quest on the quality of education. As I always believe, Miss Marge, that reading is important. In an industrialized age, if not all, but most of us are expected to possess basic skills in reading. It is in no doubt that with the great ideology, positivity, and the vision of Davao de Oro, Davao City, and the entire Region 11, I always believe that in the advocacy of Bawat Bata Bumabasa, in a move to have this kind of platform, the regional training on literacy instruction to connect the reading proficiency gaps among the learners. Our training is the best avenue to share best practices and most essential learning competencies in the application of the learning management system. And of course, as we all know, we are now equipped, especially our fellow educators, Ms. March, with the values and competencies after this great week of adventures in learning. It is our earnest hope that our participants of today, the key players of the academe on the pursuit of the quality of education as we identify our step forward delivering affirmative results. To our respective Regional Director, Region 11, Dr. Evelyn R. Fetalvero, CESO 4, to our Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Maria Ines C. Asuncion, to the Chief of the Curriculum and Learning Management Division, Chief Janet G. Velosa, and of course, English Area Education Program Supervisor, Region 11, Dr. Manuel P. Vallejo, Dr. Pedalina Huevos, Dr. Mary Jean Mejorada, and Dr. Maria Liza Birandoy, and other education program supervisors in Region 11, Division Education Program Supervisors, and of course, Ms. Marge, to our resilient teachers who work together in the operation of the school and our school heads in the entire Region 11. Once again, good luck to our new normal of education, and good afternoon, everyone. This has been, on this week, Ms. Maureen Ava B. Acuna from the Santa Ana National High School, Division of Davao City, saying, One Davao Region, bawat bata bumabasa, sulong edukalidad. To God be the highest glory.
Okay, so before we formally end, once again, I'd like to greet all the teachers from Bansalan, Davao del Sur, and all the teachers from Maragusan. Okay, and of course, thank you so much once again, Sir Pocholo Hernandez. I'd like to share this passage from the author Kofi Ataanan. He said that literacy is a bridge from misery to hope. It is a tool for daily life in modern society. It is a bulwark against poverty and a building block of development. Literacy is a platform for democratization and a vehicle for the promotion of cultural and national identity. Thank you so much to all our viewers. The whole team behind this training is very grateful for your support and participation. And congratulations to all the facilitators, our supervisors, PSPS, and reading coordinators. It's a job well done. We hope that you will continually support the initiative of the region and help cascade the session videos and presentations. Of course, I will also like to I would also like to thank our regional supervisors, Sir Manuel P. Vallejo and Ma'am Mary Jane Mejorada, for giving us the opportunity to be part of this endeavor and for giving us an avenue to grow and develop. It is such an honor to be an instrument of learning. Lastly, I'd like to end this with this saying or this passage. Let's make it our mission to make every learner a reader. And remember to always wash your hands, eat healthy, and stay safe. Thank you so much. And we are ending this live stream in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.
Welcome to CLMD Connect. in support to the Comprehensive Region-Led Learning Continuity Plan (LCP). I teach. Integrating technology academic community, the household. Ensuring every learner is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. Anchored on Sulong Idokalidad. This is DepEd Regional Office 11, delivering quality education across Davao Region.